Hello, my name is Thomas, and very recently I did a video on my top 10 British style suits, at least from my own wardrobe, and there's one suit that got missed out, which was this one. Very simply because it wasn't in my collection then. I very recently visited a relative who produced this jacket from a cupboard and said, "Is this by any chance yours?" And perhaps you can see by the way it fits. This was a bespoke suit made for me. I believe my very first bespoke suit. It was a while ago as an undergraduate student, but you can see from the way it fits, especially here, shoulders, and here. Well, as they said in Kingsman, a bespoke suit always fits. And why is that? Because it's made for nobody else. In order to have this made, I first went to a fabric shop. This was in Oman. I went to a fabric shop and I looked at a wide range of fabrics, but narrowed down to, well, the two classics of menswear, grey and blue. Whilst I do have a suit collection, I think if you were to have just two suits in your collection, it would be grey and blue. Grey tending towards the more formal occasions, say job interviews and so on. Blue tending towards social occasions, especially say weddings. Both are great in a collection. I wanted my first one to be grey because I knew that I was about to be going to a lot of job interviews. I wanted to get comfortable in a suit, perhaps inspired by that story of Sean Connery when he was first cast as James Bond. Just wasn't used to wearing a suit, wasn't comfortable with it, and the director told him to go sleep in a suit to get just comfortable with it. So as an undergraduate student, I wanted to have a suit that I started to wear day to day, so that when I went to a job interview, it was comfortable on me. It wasn't the first time I was wearing it. I didn't feel that kind of awkwardness. I was comfortable in my own clothes, and being bespoke was a wonderful thing. It was a gift to me from my parents. I was a mature student and I was working through university, but it was a gift, and it's a fantastic gift, almost an investment. In fact, why not say it is an investment, because after all, as I say, this was made, goodness knows, 15 years ago, and it still fits, it's still presentable. It was in a cupboard for quite a long time. However, it's still good, and as I say, it's been great over the years for job interviews, going into the office, social occasions, and so on. The inspiration for it, well, Pierce Brosnan, The World Is Not Enough. He wears a grey three-button suit, and this was inspired by much the same idea. I wasn't taking screenshots of the film back in those days. I just watched the film, I think paused it maybe at one crucial point when you get to see the suit, and just thought, yep, 1, 2, 3 buttons, that's it. So I think the tailor asked me how many buttons I want at the front, and then asked me how many buttons here, so I went with 3 and 3 to balance out. I now have the book from Tailors with Love by Peter Brooker and Matt Spacer, and that tells me that there were 4 buttons there. However, I was perfectly happy just to be overall inspired. This has straight, flapped pockets. Some people prefer it to be like hacking pockets, which is a classic of English menswear, but I prefer the more formal jackets. It tends to go better, in my view, with straight. So I've almost always gone with straight. Double vents at the back. I'm not going to turn around and show it. Double vents at the back, and so on. So all very classic details. Of course, it is a bespoke suit. With a bespoke suit, you can go for any number of details that you choose. You can have anything made that you want. But for me, what I really wanted was the absolute basics, the absolute classics done to a high standard. And that's something almost guaranteed from a respectable bespoke tailor. So this was designed to be as classic as possible so that it would last me and last me over the years. As I say, it's many years later. I think it's lasted me very well. It's an investment piece. So I went for classic details, but ones that I was very comfortable with, just wearing out and about. So, as I say, recently pulled out of a cupboard. I think I'm going to be wearing it a great deal more, and if I did my top 10 British style suits video all over again, I might have to do some shuffling around to include this one.